I keep saying it, people. I keep on saying it. This is what, like the third video in a row now talking about Boruto, Naruto Gaiden adaptation. These episodes, I keep on telling you. Honestly, it's just great. It's really some good stuff, and you know, you could say whatever, but again, it's really due to the fact that the source material was written by the original creator. You know what I'm saying? That's really why it feels so good. It feels straight up like, you know, well, it is canon, but, you know, it feels like canon. It just really flows very well. Now, obviously, it's not perfect, and honestly, there was a couple times where, like, Sasuke and Naruto was walking. I was like, yo, what's this animation looking a little shoddy here? So, it wasn't perfect, but as far as just the storytelling goes, like, oh my gosh, the feels with Sarada, like, this is easily the episodes, or the arc, shall I say, that really is going to make people that, let's just say they didn't see the Boruto Naruto, the movie film, or, you know, they really didn't know much about Sarada, and they've seen the anime, and they really didn't care about her. It's these episodes that's going to make you a fan of her. And in fact, it's these episodes that even if you forgot about Sarada, you really don't remember much or whatever, you didn't really care, whatever, it's these episodes that are really going to make you like, yeah, because it's real with the development for Sarada, really getting more into her character, getting more into her backstory and shit like that. Like, this episode, it did it. So we get to see a return of Suigetsu and Jugo, I believe. Yeah, it's been a minute. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot their names. Next thing you know, I'm going to start calling Naruto Boruto's dad. No. But yeah, you know, we get to see them return, and it was kind of interesting, even though Suigetsu looks pretty much exactly the same, and Jugo just kind of has a hair change. It's like, hey, it's been a while, they should look a little bit older, but if I'm not mistaken, they're experiments anyway, so it's hard to really, you know, say if they should be aging or whatnot. But we get to see them. Jugo still looks like he's loyal as ever to Sasuke. He's like, no, well, I'll take you right to Orochimaru. Suigetsu's still like a clown and still causing trouble, and it was because of him that a lot of the conflict started. So it was kind of like a nice way to bring them back, but also make them somewhat relevant, not just to have them standing there like, hey, they're here, you know, to actually have them have a role in the plot, even though it's kind of like a plot device in a sense, just to get Sarada to look at the DNA results or whatever. So it was a plot device, but it was nice to have them somewhat useful to the plot instead of just standing there, even though Jugo really just stood there. But so we got Sue helping out and making a big mess, because apparently, according to this episode, the true mama, the DNA mama, the bio mama, is apparently Karin. Karin is Sarada's mom. That kind of threw me for a loop a little bit there, or did it? I don't know. You know, I read the manga, you know what I'm saying? I remember this very vividly because this was the part of the manga that was really like, oh my gosh, it was some Mori shit. Everybody was talking about it, so it was interesting to see Sarada's reaction. It was really sad. It looked like for once, even though in the end he got through to her, but it looked like for once Naruto's talk no jutsu was not going to work, because he was trying to do it on Sarada, and Sarada just kept on, you know, questioning shit. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, that's Sasuke's daughter, so she's gonna do something similar to Sasuke. When Sasuke was like questioning things constantly, she was questioning the same things. And just the moment, it was easily my favorite moment, even though there was a little bit of cool stuff going on the sidelines or whatever. Like, my favorite moment, hands down, was the little conversation between Sarada and Naruto, when Naruto was trying to comfort her and shit like that. That was the best. You know, you got her there crying, and you got her questioning things, and it also brings up a very valid point, and I talked about this obviously when the chapters were coming out or whatever. It goes into a lesson, and it goes into more life things, not just about, you know, the story at hand, but it really makes you think and makes you look at life in a sense of, okay, assuming Sakura isn't, you know, that DNA test 100% is legit, and Sakura really isn't Sarada's mom, yet she's the one that raised her. It kind of makes you look at it in perspective like, well, just because she's not biologically your mom, does that mean that you no longer need to care about her and shit like that? Like, I live my life as follows. Yes, of course, I care about the people that are related to me. However, I treasure somebody that, you know, let's just say they're just a friend, or, you know, they're not related to me anyway as far as blood-wise, but they're a really good person in my life. I treat them just the same, if not almost more sometimes, depending on the people, as, you know, close as my family. I don't never in my life let blood be a overpowering thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there could be a really good person that you can have in your life, and some people will fuck it up. Some people will just throw it away because it's not blood related or whatever, and you should never do that. Judge a person by their character, how they treat you, and things of that nature. Never ever disregard somebody simply because of blood relation. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're not related to me. Nah, fuck that shit. So I really enjoyed the fact that this episode kind of very lightly touched into something like that. Sarada questioning, well, Sakura's not my mom, why the fuck should I care? You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Well, she still raised you. She's still the one that when you were sick at night was there for you. She's still the one that raised you, you know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated that. The best moment, obviously, in that part of Naruto and her talking was when she had that flashback, I believe. It might have been either in that conversation or a little bit after in the episode, but when Sarada had the flashback of talking to Sakura about, well, why doesn't Daddy show up anymore and shit like that, and Sakura did the little finger thing to the forehead, that got me, I ain't gonna lie. Like, all of this episode, honestly, it was just great. And then to see the return of the snake pervert creep motherfucker himself, Orochimaru. I was like, yo, motherfucker's still up to no good. He's like, hey, do we really need to dive into it? Obviously, I look younger because I'm doing what I'm doing. Let's skip all the details. Pause. So, really nice to see Orochimaru. And, of course, even though, I mean, people should know by now. Like, let's be honest here. When he was talking to Naruto about that kid that, is in the village or whatever. Come on, who the fuck you think he's talking about? You think he's talking about Neji? Whoa, that was terrible. Obviously, he's talking about Mitsuki, more or less, possibly, whatever his relation to Orochimaru is, he's more than likely talking about Mitsuki there, let's be real here. So, it's interesting that Naruto is in the loop about Mitsuki and the transfer and shit like that, so for Orochimaru to say he owes Naruto one, I wonder why he took that kid in to begin with, because you always gotta watch Orochimaru, no matter what, okay, he changed his ways, or, he helped out the village in the war and shit like that, you always gotta think back, this is the man that killed the third Hokage. He's responsible for that. He's responsible for a lot of fucked up shit he was doing in the background. You cannot trust him. So I'm really, really wondering what the whole thing with Mitsuki is and why Naruto decided to allow him in the village and not just, fuck you, stay with your kid there or whatever the fuck he is to you, know what I'm saying? So kind of curious in that relationship. But aside from that, it was really nice to see Orochimaru again. Again, it always feels like, canon. It feels great. Because you get Orochimaru in there, you get him diving into the plot, and he's always a great way to explain things and stuff like that. And it seems as though Shin was around for a really, really long time. It seems as though Shin been around for, long enough that Orochimaru was like, yes, I kind of remember him. So he's been around for a minute. Shin, for what he's worth, is like, okay, he has a lot of Sharingan eyes, but he just seems like a deluded creature experiment shit. Because it's like, I'm an Uchiha and I look up to Itachi. Bro, you have some Sharingans in your body. That's pretty much it. And he's also a piece of shit. And again, it's really interesting, and I know I keep saying it's really interesting, but it is, the fact that it's kind of diving into, okay, look, Shin and Shin, his son, the father and the son or whatever, they're blood related, right? But look how he treats, and shout outs to Kishimoto for this, it's a lot of people won't see it, they'll just see it like, the story at hand, but that's his son essentially, biologically, whatever you call them, clones or whatever, but that's his son, and he kills him. And he like, he's just for parts or whatever. Sakura may not be Sarada's mother, right? Based on this episode. But she would do anything for her. She went in jumping, swinging, punching Shin Uchiha and shit like that. Even though they're not blood related. So really nice, subtle way for Kishimoto to kind of dive into the topic of somebody being a parent without not necessarily being blood related. So I really enjoyed that and appreciated that. As a whole, the episode, fantastic episode to a fantastic arc. I'm really sad that I believe we only have like 1 or 2 more episodes of this. And then we're moving on. It's like, this has been some fucking really awesome shit. I really loved it. Again, art and animation. Art was fine. Animation was a little wonky at times when they were walking, but aside from that, it's like, this is awesome shit. I absolutely love this episode. Really curious what you guys think, though. Favorite moment? Was it the Sarada and Sakura flashback? Was it Sarada talking to Naruto? Sarada crying? Also, what do you think about Shin Uchiha and, what he's doing to this kid? What do you think about the overall message about family and about, kind of, it doesn't matter if you're blood related or not. Somebody that's blood related could still be an absolute piece of garbage that you don't need in your life. And somebody that's not related to you by blood can be the most amazing person that you need in your life. And your overall thoughts of the episode. How did you feel seeing the snake pervert creep motherfucker Orochimaru returning? I ain't gonna lie, I really enjoyed that. Oh, and quick shout outs to seeing Yamato still being kind of a statue ass motherfucker there. It's like, Yamato, I don't know, he didn't start off feeling this creepy and weird or awkward as he is right now nowadays. Like towards the end of the series, it was just like he became a joke. So, yeah, seeing Yamato, cool there, I guess. I wasn't really moved by it or anything like that. And your overall thoughts of the episode. How do you feel about this? Is this the best thing thus far in the Boruto anime? Personally, I think this arc is killing it. Amazing. Way better than everything. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.